So yeah, you were a little bit unsure how to do this question. Shade 0.7 of the rectangle. And 0.7 as a fraction is 7 over 10. Why is that? Because 0.1 is 1 over 10. I kind of demonstrated through this. If we imagine going from 100 to 10 to 1 to 0.1, we're continually dividing by 10. So 1 divided by 10 is 1/10 by definition, really. That's what it means, 1 divided by 10. So 0.7 would be 7 times that, so it's 7 divided by 10. If we look at this rectangle here, it's made out of, if we count them, 20 little squares. So in other words, if I shaded one of them, like that, that shaded part is equal to 1/20th. So let's take this out, and I'm going to just make a copy, I think. I think the way that Miro is doing this now, if I write 1/20th on here, maybe let's change the thickness. Oh, it's already the thinnest it can be. Okay. Oh, that's okay. 1/20th, I think. Yeah, that moves around like that. So that's 1/20th. If I cut the whole thing in half, like that, then that would be 1/2. So, but we also can see that 1/2 is clearly the same as 10 lots of these, so 10/20ths. So what we're doing here, this is a kind of a way of seeing how we can simplify fractions. So 10 over 20 is the same as 1 over 2, because what we've done is we have just divided the top and the bottom by 10. So if we go to just 2/20ths, this so 2/20ths, we can see is sorry, not 2/20, that says 2/10. 2/20ths. Well, 2/20ths, the 2 and the 20 can be divided by 2, so that gives us 1/10. So therefore this is 1/10. So that would mean that, okay, let's try to do it with my mouse. That is 2/10. And that is 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10. So that is what they wanted you to do. That's 7/10, which is 0.7. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is, so I'll move this out of the way. And what I'd like you to do is highlight 1/5 of the triangle. See if you can work out how to do 1/5 of the triangle. Sorry, not triangle, rectangle. So the trick to this is to, I guess what I probably should have done is to show you how to go backwards. So I said that 10/20th is the same as 1/2 because I divided by 10. But I can go the other way. If I want to turn 1/2 into 10/20ths, well, I want to first of all take the denominator and turn it into 20ths. So I times it by 10. And whatever I times by 10, I need to also do the same to the top. So I times by 10. So when I want to turn 7/10 into 20ths, I take the 7/10 and I want to make 20 here. How do I make 10 into 20? I times it by 2, which means I want to take the 7 and also times it by 2, which gives me 14. And so that shows me that I want to do it as I want to do 14 squares. So, but another way that we could do this anyway, actually, is if you imagine the middle line is not even there. If we forget the middle line is even there, I might be able to have a go at doing that. Let's see if I can somehow wipe it out. So if I were to draw all the way over the top perfectly, get rid of the arrow and make that white. There we go. Now, we can see that the whole thing is divided only into 10 pieces. So this makes it a lot easier simply to shade 7 of them, because we're doing 7/10. But if we did have the original line, okay, fine, we use this method to work out we want 14 of the squares. So with the case of with my question, when I said shade 1/5, you just want to work out, how can I divide this whole thing into 5 pieces? That's one way you can do it. Or you can just go 1/5 is equal to some number of 20ths. And you've got to look at, what do I need to do to the 5 to make it into 20? And I have to do the same to the top. Okay, either of those two approaches would work, right? The first case, you can actually use the diagram. The second case works without a diagram. Yeah, there you go. So you times the 5 by 4, which gives us the 20, which means you have to times 1 by 4, which will just give us 4. So we shade 4 squares. And another way that we could have done this is by, so let me just erase that for a moment. So another way we could have done this is, I'm going to draw thicker sort of green lines over the top, and I'm going to divide this whole rectangle into 5 pieces. Well, I'm just going to put, if I do that, we can see in the diagram that is now 5 pieces, right? Yeah, so we can see that's 5 pieces. Each piece is 1/5, because it has to be, right? So if I had to do 3/5, it would be this lot here. Yeah. Okay, but you could have done the same sort of thing without the diagram too. So you could say that I'm trying to turn 3/5 into the 20th. So we do that same sort of thing. We do that times by 4, which means we do this times by 4, and so that's 12. And as you can see, that is 4, 8, 12 squares. Okay. All right.